So here we are, morning in Perth, rather afternoon in Perth. 12:30 is where Devashish is, looking dapper in that green bright t-shirt. Gargi, Shubhan, Devashish, all of them join me. But Ogni's joined us. Shubhan and Rohit are expected to join us in a bit. Both of them are there in the Optus Stadium. All three of them were there. Devashish has just come out from the India practice. Let's first go to Devashish only. Devashish, what has happened from morning? You've been sending us a lot of videos and a lot of photographs. Gargi, can you play the photographs and Devashish can talk over them? Yeah, Devashish, go on.
Yeah, Bodhya, obviously, India had their first training session at the Optus Stadium, the venue of the first test match, and the focus was on fielding. Almost, the Indian players spent almost an hour doing fielding drills, and a lot of emphasis was on the slip catching, especially the likes of the particle Virat Kohli, Rahul, Dhruv Jurel, and Yashasvi Jaiswal. Those were the four slip fielders along with the gully fielder where Yashasvi was fielding. So a lot of focus was on slip fielding, and also Gautam Gambhir was saying, both Gautam Gambhir and Ryan Dashkate was saying, giving um, um, catching practice to forward short leg where Abhimanyu Vishwakarma and Sarfaraz Khan was there. So clearly the focus was on building for an hour, and now the Indian team has been training. They are having their next session. Almost all the batters are there. KL Rahul is batting. He's been batting for a long time, and also and it has been quite an intense training session. So the training started around and 9, and it's almost 11:30 now. So almost 2.5 hours the team has been training together.
Really, and you can see the visuals that Devashish and Shubhan and Rohit have sent us. All of these visuals are from Devashish's camera. There were some excellent visuals which he had sent us yesterday also, which had one visual of Mitchell Starc with one side of the ball white, one side of the ball red. That was a beautiful photograph that Devashish had captured. Before I go to Ogni and Gargi, let's set up this debate. You know, there is so much talk on Rohit Sharma missing the test match. Saurav Ganguly, for example, told us that Rohit should be on the flight because India will miss him. No doubt India will miss him. Rohit is an absolute leader. Where does Michael Clarke stand on this? The Australian captain, one of the best ever, greatest ever Australian captains of all time. Very proud about the baggy green. Michael Clarke spoke to us about all things Border Gavaskar Trophy and helped set it up. Gargi Raut will play that clip, and I will go to Devashish, Ogni and Gargi on this. Gargi, can you play that clip? Rohit should have gone, etc., etc. Where do you stand on this? Is it a personal choice according to you? Do you have a position on this? Would you have done the same? How do you look at this, Michael Clarke?
Buddy, to be honest, the greatest day of my life over any cricket event, over any test match victory, over any captaining Australia, the greatest day of my life was the day my daughter was born. And being there for that moment was the most special moment of my life. So 100%, if I was having my daughter and I had a game of cricket on, and I love cricket, I love representing my country, and I love captaining Australia, but family always comes first. It has to. So being there for my little girl, I'd do it every day of the week. So I completely respect and agree with Rohit's decision. I have no doubt, in an ideal world, it would have been great if his second child come, a week early or 2 weeks early so he could play every test match. Rohit loves playing for India as much as I love playing for Australia. He's a great player. He's a wonderful captain. He'll be missed. There's no doubt about it. But every single person must respect that decision of any man.
Well,
you're on mute.
Straight talk there, straight talk from Michael Clarke on Rohit Sharma. Rohit Juglan and Shubhan Chakraborty also join us from there. Shubhan, you first comment from Australia. We didn't have you live. Good to see you there with Devashish and Rohit. Michael Clarke's comment. Every day of the week he'd be with his little girl, Rohit Sharma. Complete backing from Michael Clarke. Shubhan Chakraborty, thoughts? Can't hear you.
Started raining.
It has started to rain here in Perth. It's raining here in Perth, so we'll have to run for shelters. I think Indian team is also wrapping things up. So I think we'll have to
go to a shelter. Devashish, Rohit, and Shubhan, go to a shelter. We'll go to Gargi and Ogni. Gargi, where do you stand on this?
I think Michael Clarke couldn't have put it better. Family always comes first. I mean, I know we say this. I know there will be fans, there will be critics saying that they get paid this and they get paid that, and they should always put the country first. But come on, you only live once. And how can you miss incredible moments like these in your life? I mean, I'm completely with Rohit Sharma on this. I don't feel bad about him missing out on the most important part of his life. He has to be a person outside of cricket as well, and that is his role. He's a father, so he has to be there. That's as simple as that.
Ogni?
See, the fact that we're debating this decision of Rohit Sharma is hilarious. I mean, there cannot be a second choice to it. It's the birth of your child. You have to be there with your child. I mean, there are no two ways about it. You can postpone a world war. And at the end of the day, it's a cricket match. Yes, it's Border Gavaskar Trophy. Yes, it's a 3-0 whitewash against New Zealand. Yes, unbeaten for the last 2 times. But at the end of the day, it's just one cricket match. We like it, we don't like it, we love it or hate it. That's the ground reality of the fact. Yes, India is going to miss Rohit Sharma, the opener. India is going to miss his leadership skills. But there cannot be two ways about the fact that Rohit is staying back in India with Ritika, and we already wished him all the best from the entire Ref Sports fraternity, from the Ref Sports family. We all hope that the newborn is fine along with the mother and the father. Rohit will be back for the Adelaide test for sure. But the fact that we're debating this standing in 2024, I mean, it's bizarre. Get over it, guys. Let's focus on the 22nd November Perth test. It's bizarre. Let's not have this debate.
Shubhan, thoughts?
Yeah, I think it's pretty silly on all the Indian fans' behalf that we are debating uh, things like this. I mean, family comes first and foremost, and I would agree with Agni there that it's just a cricket game. It's just a game, and nothing comes before family. So it has to be there. I think this matter should stop here and here only, and I think we should not drag it forward. Yes, I completely agree with what Michael Clarke said. I completely agree with all the what all the other former cricketers are saying. But if someone is pointing fingers at Rohit Sharma for missing a cricket match for the birth of his child, then I think he or she, whoever is commenting that, is something, there's something wrong on his or her behalf.
Gargi, play that clip once more. A lot of our viewers have joined a little later. Devashish is showing us Optus Stadium as well. We can go to Rohit Juglan on this because, interestingly, Shubhan Chakraborty has brought rain to Perth. It never rains, at least in the at this point in time, this part of the year. But next week is clear. So the test match weather predictions I was checking for Perth from the 22nd onwards, it is fine. So there should be no problems whatsoever as far as the test match is concerned. Gargi, play that clip, and I'll go to Rohit Juglan, then go to Devashish again. Gone, etc., etc. Where do you stand on this? Is it a personal choice according to you? Do you have a position on this? Would you have done the same? How do you look at this, Michael Clarke?
Buddy, to be honest, the greatest day of my life, over any cricket event, over any test match victory, over any captaining Australia, the greatest day of my life was the day my daughter was born. And being there for that moment was the most special moment of my life. So 100%, if I was having my daughter and I had a game of cricket on, and I love cricket, I love representing my country, and I love captaining Australia, but family always comes first. It has to. So being there for my little girl, I'd do it every day of the week. So I completely respect and agree with Rohit's decision. I have no doubt, in an ideal world, it would have been great if his second child come, a week early or 2 weeks early so he could play every test match. Rohit loves playing for India as much as I love playing for Australia. He's a great player. He's a wonderful captain. He'll be missed. There's no doubt about it. But every single person must respect that decision of any man.
Rohit Juglan, can the Indian team sort of step up for Rohit Sharma? Set it up for the captain before the test match. You've been at the practice session. Devashish told us exactly what transpired. What have you seen at the practice session? Give us details.
I think they are focusing on each and everything on a very they are doing it for the longer hours because it's the first day and it's full-fledged practice session. Obviously it is currently being stopped by the rain, but before that I think I haven't seen in a long time a 1.5 hour only catching practice session. 1.5 hours from those, I think 3 or 3.5 hours. Virat Kohli almost for 1 hour and 15 slip catches, half an hour, more than half an hour for the right-handers and then for the left-handers and then for the close-in. And before that, the first 20 minutes, he just focused on the throwdown, and his energy of the whole team was on a next level. And he even he was shouting, and the kind of energy he carries, it was very much evident there. He that throwdown game with his team with 4 players. I think Harshit was there, Sarfraz was there, Navdeep was there, him and was there in his team, and I think they were won it by 12-7, the scoreline of 12-7, and Virat was so happy after that. And after in the slip cordon last Maxwell was there in the new entrant at the Australian slip cordon, and now we have seen Devdutt Padikkal at the first slip. So it completely gives you a picture of your first test playing 11, that Devdutt Padikkal going to open with KL Rahul, and then after that it will be Yashasvi Jaiswal and KL Rahul, and after that Devdutt Padikkal, and then it will go on like Virat Kohli, Rishabh Pant, and then obviously
Rohit,
Dhruv Jurel, because
we'll come to the team. We'll come to the team. I mean, good to know the lowdown on the on the slip catching and what you said on Virat. Let's focus on Virat a bit, because I asked Michael about that. Devashish, then from what you watched Virat, Rohit Juglan was also tweeting, Shubhan was mentioning, you were mentioning. How did you see Virat Kohli at the slips? I mean, because this slip catching, if you have heard R. Sridhar in the past, Virat trained separately for slip catching. How did you see today the slip cordon shaping up, Devashish Sen? I'll ask this of Shubhan also before I go to Gargi and Ogni on Virat Kohli after I play the clip. Devashish Sen. Mute. Yeah.
Not a single moment did Virat opted out of from the slip fielding. Then he was seen fielding with Rishabh Pant. Both Rishabh Pant and Virat were the last one to leave the fielding drills. They were the last one doing the slip catching practice along with Rishabh Pant. So, and that means you could actually make out that how intense Virat was. Means obviously there is no doubt about his commitment, and he was there right from the beginning to the end. The other fielders were back to the nets where the net session began, but it was Virat and Rishabh Pant who were still there in the middle and doing the slip catching practice. So clearly you could sense, and I would just like to take you back to that Michael Clarke interview, obviously, and Michael Clarke was perfectly right in saying that Rohit has made the right decision. I asked, Travis said yesterday the same question about Rohit missing out the first test match because of the birth of his second child. He said he did the same. Travis said did the same when he was a father. When he became a father for the first time, he opted out of a test match. So clearly the Australians also have huge respect for Rohit's decision not to play this test match and prioritize his family commitments. So clearly the Australians are also bad. At least the Australian players are also have a lot of respect for Rohit's decision. And yes, as you can see that obviously India will be, it is a setback not to have your captain in the middle, but today both the selectors, chairman of selectors Ajit Agarkar and Subrata Banerjee, they were both there, and so they were having a long look at the wickets where Jasprit Bumrah was there. Jasprit Bumrah was in fact having a long chat with Ajit Agarkar in the middle, observing the wickets, and then later on during at the nets, Virat also joined. So clearly the team is looking a lot more focused because 2 more days to go ahead of the first test match. So already we have seen the build-up, so everything to play for.
Let me answer one personal problem this guy has. Somebody, Devil Oyon 7 with me. Let me answer. He's calling me some matcha fan because I've attended some celebration by Mariners base camp. Hello. I will go and attend East Bengal, Mohammedan, Mohun Bagan, Bodisha, any celebration of any fan, because fandom, according to me, is one of the best sociological studies that I've done. Number one. Number two, you are saying, what have you said against me? You are saying Ronaldo missed one match. Does that make Virat or who missed a series, or Rohit, any less patriot? You are completely daft if you think that way. And the third point is, what have I done against Riddhiman Saha? Riddhiman Saha is a liar. And I'm saying this publicly, that, multiple times I've said this in the book. Multiple times he's lied. He should come and apologize to my family. So the matter rests there. Let's focus on Virat Kohli. Virat Kohli is somebody that Rohit Juglan, Shubhan, and Devashish just mentioned at length. And I asked Michael Clarke, I want to go to Shubhan Chakraborty, Gargi, and Rohit and Ogni on this. Gargi, play that clip. This is very important what Michael Clarke talks about on Virat Kohli. Play that clip. Following, I mean, my people are already there, and they've been sending me Australian newspapers. Every day there is a piece on Virat Kohli. The king is here, the king is back.
Yeah.
And I love the build-up. I even saw Hindi newspaper articles, Punjabi newspaper articles, Australia's gotten beer. Your thoughts on, you've already spoken to Bharat on Virat, but if I could request you to kind of set it up. Saurav Ganguly in an interview to me said he's backing Kohli. He said this could be the last time he's there for Test cricket. I'm backing him. The pitches would suit him. Where do you stand on this? Where do you see Virat Kohli in this series?
Yeah, look, the excitement here in Australia is huge. I think even the history and tradition around the Ashes series is massive in Australia and in England. But I think even the Australian fans are seeing this tour. The fact it's a 5-test match tour again as well. It's as big. It's as big as any Ashes series. So India also won the last 2 times they've been here. They'll be confident in playing these conditions. You're a silly, silly person to write off Virat Kohli. There's a reason. Over a long period of time, statistics don't lie. This guy is a great of the game. And yes, his form probably isn't as good as he would like, but tell me a Test cricketer that has played that much cricket that doesn't go through a form slump or doesn't go through that highs and lows. The bigger the occasion, the more the pressure, the best players stand up. And if I was the Australian team, I'd want to be so disciplined at the start of this tournament and try and keep Virat's scores low. Because if he makes runs in this first Test match, his confidence then goes back through the roof. He'll be hard to stop. He's dominated Australian conditions. I think he scored 600s in 13 Test matches. If I was an Indian fan, I wouldn't be too worried about Virat Kohli. I think the bigger the occasion, the more this man has always stood up.
And if they sledge him or if they come at him, he will get pumped up. Very much.
I think that's what he wants. I think that's what he's always loved as well. He's that type of player. Any sort of conflict, he'll always stand true to himself. He'll always back his team. I hope the Australian players are not that silly. I don't think they need to say much to Virat. It's not what you say, it's what you do. I'd be concentrating on bowling in the right areas, trying to work on any part you can, find that outside edge, hang on to that catch, and just worry about getting him out.
Shubhan, respond.
I think as soon as Kohli stepped onto the field today, I saw that competitiveness in him right from the start. When he went to check the pitch, it was an initial glance, it was a brief glance. But as soon as the fielding drill started, the team, there were a couple of teams which were divided. Devdutt was with Virat in Virat's team. Jurel was in Virat's team. KL was in a different team. And after Virat won that session, Virat's team won that session. He said, he mentioned it to KL's team that jao ghar jao, ho gaya tumhara, hum jeet gaye. So this is the kind of spirit which he brings into even a friendly game. Even when the players were juggling, Yashasvi, Kohli, Jurel, and all, I think he was letting. Yes, thank you for participating. अब आप जा सकते हो, आपका हो गया. It was what Virat Kohli said, and when they were juggling, when Yashasvi, and it has been Yashasvi's juggling skill has been in the part of the process. He's not a finished product right now, but Kohli has undertaken him under his guidance. So he keeps on sledging Yashasvi ki अरे ऐसा नहीं होता. He keeps on laughing at him. So that competitiveness is there when Kohli even goes for a fielding session or a slight football juggling session. But at the nets, I think he was spot on. He was facing the likes of Prasidh Krishna. He faced the likes of Nitish Kumar Reddy. By the way, Nitish and both Prasidh, they have been bowling well, but Kohli was spot on with it. And what I liked about Kohli's batting is his back foot cut is not his strongest point, but he's making an effort to bring that into the play as well, because in Australian condition, in bouncy conditions, you need that. But what I liked the most about Kohli is that at the moment he stepped onto the field, he was switched on, and the only thing he wanted is to win.
Rohit Juglan, Kohli.
Yeah, so what happened? Yeah, Shubham, very competitive. He's looking to win each and everything, right up from the football jugglings, and we can already see him. Those back heels was not everyone was doing it properly. Dhruv Jurel tried, yes, tried. There was few others who tried, and then Virat came up, and then Virat did a back heel, and it just completely come off perfectly. And those high loopy balls, he was just towing them up, towing them down, and just it's a one-stop, kind of thing from him. So he was perfectly organized with all those things. The starting on, straight up the wicket, straight up went to the wicket, and after going there had just a 2 or 5 minutes glimpse of the wicket, and after that started running. The pictures which Debashish Da has sent, and after that running, he was just back to the stretching, then to the throwdowns, winning the throwdown round, then to a 1 hour and 15 minutes of those catching. Very intensity wise very high, and yes, he was looking all in, Buryada. He was looking.
Gargi, same question for you and Ogni.
Just
there's all our reporters are saying about the intensity. Saurav and Michael have both talked about it. What are you feeling? I mean, you think Virat will rise up to the occasion? Debashish said the same. Shubhan said, Rohit said. I will ask Ogni as well. The big cricketers, the former captains are building him up. Gargi, what do you think?
Like I've been saying for the past week, if there's anyone who has to lead the batting charge of the Indian team, it has to be Virat Kohli. It has to be him. He has the caliber to make that kind of comeback. We've seen him turn it around multiple times. We've seen him single-handedly win games, win matches, win series. So it has to be Virat Kohli for me. And the way that Shubhayan, Rohit, and Debashish have been giving us all the updates since the past weeks, telling us about how long Virat Kohli is batting every day, how intensely he's practicing ahead of the games. It's clear that he has a laser focus, and that he's aiming for a huge turnaround. And I'm just waiting for him to turn the tables around and go back into that beast mode.
Ogni, I asked Michael about Australian sledging Kohli. He said, "Do you think we are stupid?"
So since this stream is going in Bangla, let me switch to a very popular dialogue of Mithun Chakraborty from a very popular Bengali film. Bele boda noy, jol dhora noy, ekebare gokhro, একশো বলেই ছবি, এই একশো বলে ছবি করে দেবে আমি বলছি, একশো বলে ছবি, একশো বলে ছবি করে দেবে কোহলি আমি বলছি, বারবার বলছি। বাঘের কামড় আর চিতার কামড় যেখানে পড়বে এক খাবলা করে মাংস তুলে নেবে। মিঠুনদা অনেকদিন আগে বলে গেছে, এখন দাদা সাহেব ফালকে হয়ে গেছে। হ্যাঁ, কোহলিও এগোচ্ছে সেই দিকে আস্তে আস্তে, হয়তো দাদা সাহেব ফালকে পাবে না বা অন্য সবকিছু পাওয়া হয়ে গেছে জীবনে। So switching back to English, very interesting that Shubhayan told us about the back foot punch. Boryada, I remember you writing in an article, the legendary knock played by Sachin at Perth, he also used the back foot punch, which was not his strong forte, to great effect. So great to see Virat Kohli following his idol's footsteps, and the intensity. See, his intensity, his work ethic, his commitment has never been questioned, and it will never be questioned. He's a great ambassador of Indian cricket. He's a cricketing soul from the heart, and he will put in his 100%, probably 110%. Now that Rohit and Shubman are missing the first test, India will need his leadership skills as well, because he is a very core member of the leadership group. And most importantly, he's practicing slip catching, his sledging and stuff. And please, this is my request to all the social media people, please don't judge the intensity of players by their headshots. I mean, you are wise enough and mature enough. The way Kohli clicked pictures in 2018, 2019, oh look, he's mellowed down, he's become so calm, 2024 BGT photo shoot, Kohli. Really? You are judging the intensity of a person who scored that 82 against Pakistan at MCG by a headshot, by a photo shoot before the Border Gavaskar Trophy. I don't know in what worlds you people are living in, but Kohli is going to be absolutely at his beast mode. I have no doubts about that. The best part, we are not preparing the pitches. The Australian pitches will suit him. The conditions are challenging. The players will come hard at him. Watch out for Virat. And Michael Clarke put it very aptly. If he performs in the first test, God save Australia.
Devashish, same question for you. You've been watching Virat very closely for years. Tell me about his body language, because a lot can be understood. Do you find that determination, that steely determination that Rohit and Shubhan are talking about, the slip catching, the intensity that Shubhan mentioned, tera ho gaya, etc., etc. How have you seen Virat Kohli so far in Australia?
He has been enjoying. I'll start with he is enjoying. And when Virat Kohli enjoys, mind the opponent. Means you don't want the king, the goat to enjoy. Means obviously, and he is, ever since he arrived in Australia, he has been enjoying the training session. Today also, there were a few moments where he joked. He was doing some banters with Yashasvi, the youngsters in the side. So clearly, you can make that he's enjoying the moment. Obviously, and this is what makes Virat. Means he is in the mood. He's in the mood. And also, as we have seen that he is, apart from enjoying, he is focusing on the training session, especially the net during in the nets. We saw him having a long discussion with Gautam Gambhir, where Jasprit Bumrah was also there. So clearly, you can make out that he is a lot more involved. So when you have when you have your senior cricketer involved in the scheme of things, you could actually make that he is also taking the entire team, because he knows he has played in Australia since the 2008, so he knows what it takes like to be successful in Australia. So who better than Virat Kohli? Means he is the own, and remember, he will try to prove a point, because last time at the same ground in 2018-19 series, India lost in that test match after winning in Adelaide. So he will have a lot to prove. And obviously India, and now more focus on Virat, especially with Rohit and Shubman missing. He will have to take a bigger responsibility, and he's clearly enjoying.
Shubhan, some people say this is a PR of Virat Kohli going on. React.
Let it be. If they think this is PR, then we are doing PR. If you are happy by saying that we are doing PR, be happy, stay happy.
Serious note, Shubhan, I think Devashish made one statement which stood out.
What they will say to Australian media then? Is Australian media is also the PR of Virat Kohli?
Lovely, good one, Rohit Juglan. That's a good riposte. That's a good rebut. Very good one. But Shubhan, on a different note, Virat, when anybody is under pressure, and Virat has said this, that at some point he was not enjoying mental focus was kind of, he was challenged. But if Devashish is what he's saying, that he's starting to enjoy, he's enjoying what he's doing, then clearly that's where you want a performer of his level be at the start of a test series. React to that. I thought it was a very important statement.
Absolutely, and yes, he has been all smiles today at the nets, and Devashish and Rohit have been following the Indian players, Indian training since the last couple of days at the Waka. So I think he's in good spirits, and that is what important. That is what the most important thing is. If you are tensed, if you are a bit confused about your batting, if you are under pressure, then I think there are high chances that you won't execute, or you won't be successful in what you are trying to do out there. If you are happy, if you are clear, if you have a clear thought process, clear planning in what you want to execute out there, then I think more or less it will succeed. They will succeed out there. So it is important when a senior player like Virat Kohli is happy, he is smiling. It eggs on the team. The entire positiveness spreads onto the team, and I think this team has a lot of youngsters like Nitish Kumar Reddy, Prasidh Krishna, Harshit Rana. These guys are Dhruv Jurel, Devdutt Padikkal. These guys are young. These guys are traveling to the Australian shores for the first time. Yashasvi Jaiswal. So I think it is important that the senior members, even when Rohit Sharma, even Jasprit Bumrah, I think he was spot on with his communication today. He has been communicating with all the players as he is going to lead in the first test. So Jasprit Bumrah, Virat Kohli, KL Rahul. These are the 3-4 players. Rishabh Pant, Jadeja, Ashwin. These are the 3-4-5 players who will have to carry this team forward. Even if some of them are not playing in the playing 11, then also I think the positiveness in that entire dugout will carry this team forward in this entire tour, Boryada.
Let's move focus now. Let's move focus now to the team. A lot of people asking about the spin. Is Washington Sundar bowling, etc., etc. Siddharth. There are a lot of others. Rohit, you were talking about the team combination. I want to go to everybody. Why don't you start? Have you seen Washington Sundar bat bowl? What is your take now on spinners? Who's the first choice option from seeing nets? What are you sensing, Rohit Juglan?
Let me tell you my playing 11. Let me directly tell you what I think that India are going to play on 2020 on 22. They will start with obviously KL Rahul and Yashasvi Jaiswal. The number 3 will be Devdutt Padikkal. Why I'm saying that? Because Devdutt Padikkal was staying at first slip for almost half an hour, and the first slip, second slip, third slip will be your first thing when you just go for those fielding drills. So the slip cordon will definitely tell you about the playing 11. And there was Devdutt Padikkal standing on the first slip. Second slip, it was Virat Kohli, and then third slip, it was for the right-handers. For the left-handers, it will definitely change. There could be a possibility come at first slip, but these are all slip cordon, permutations and combinations. After that, it will be Virat Kohli. After Devdutt Padikkal, Virat Kohli, then Rishabh Pant. Then I think Dhruv Jurel will definitely get a chance. And then Ravindra Jadeja. I'm still not able to see Ravindra Jadeja bowling. I don't know if he bowled or not till now, but whatever I've seen at this point of time, Ravindra Jadeja hasn't bowled a single ball. On the other part, Washi and Ashwin are bowling, but my gut feeling is saying that this team will go with Ravindra Jadeja, the batter. They really want a depth in their side. Then the other one will definitely be Nitish Kumar Reddy. And then, yes, obviously the 3 pacers will be. And interestingly, when the practice session is started, only 3 bowlers hadn't bowled. Shubhanda and me were discussing, where is Harshit Rana? And he was just staying there. He was standing up there, but not bowling at that point of time. For the first half an hour, Harshit didn't bowl, Siraj didn't bowl, Bumrah didn't bowl. And each one of them have bowled. Mukesh bowled, Prasidh bowled. You talk about any one of the bowlers, Yash Shubhanda was telling me that Yash Dayal was also here. 3 pace bowlers hasn't bowled for the first half. That was Harshit Rana, Mohammad Jasprit Bumrah. So the team is pretty much clear. I don't think that this will change until and unless there will be some, some weather conditions, something, completely change as far as pitch and the conditions are concerned. So this is my playing 11 for the 22nd.
Okay. Ovni, where do you stand? Debut for Devdutt Padikkal. That's what Rohit Juglan is saying. Debut for Nitish Reddy. Debut for Harshit Rana. 3 debutants in the first test. Ovni?
See, obviously Rohit knows better. Rohit understands better because he's been observing the net sessions very closely. So, of course, we'll have to go by his opinion. But if you ask my personal opinion, Boryada, I think Dhruv Jurel should play at number 3. I am still not confident about Devdutt Padikkal on bouncy tracks. I mean, I'm still not confident. But as Rohit Bhai said, that half an hour spending in the slip cordon obviously makes a very strong statement. So probably Padikkal and Nitish Kumar Reddy is a no-brainer because you need a 4th seamer all-rounder. Mitchell Marsh will play that role for Australia. Nitish Kumar Reddy will play that for India. But I think if Harshit makes his debut, probably we're saying that Bumrah Siraj are confirmed with the new red cherry, with the Kookaburra ball. It'll be very unfair on Akashdeep because you have readied him through the Bangladesh and New Zealand tours. Through the Bangladesh and New Zealand series. So it'll be pretty unfair. And the Perth track will suit Akashdeep's style of bowling. The bounce he generates, the pace he generates from the pitch. It will suit Akashdeep. And it's a difficult call. Rohit Bhai is saying his gut feeling is saying Jadeja. A lot of people will be saying Washington Sundar, judging by his current form. But difficult. I mean, with Nitish Kumar Reddy, I think you have the batting depth. I will probably go by Dada's words. I'll probably play the best spinner in Ashwin. I'll probably say if you have to pick a spinner in Perth, it has to be your number 1 spinner with 550 test wickets. No doubt about that. Completely agree with Saurav Ganguly on that. So Ashwin is my number 8, 9, 10, 11.
Devashish, because this is an interesting team that Rohit just said. 3 debutants, first test of the series. So much talk about the playing 11. Devashish, what's your sense?
Yeah, obviously we have been observing that Ravindra Jadeja has not been bowling in the nets in last few net sessions ever since the team arrived. And clearly, do you want Jadeja to play only as a batter, or you would want, because the conditions here will definitely favor the fast bowlers. So assuming that India will go in with the three fast bowlers and an all-rounder in Nitish Kumar Reddy, but who would be your only spinner? So here lies a trick, whether they will opt out or whether they will opt with a lone spinner in a Ravichandran Ashwin or a Washington Sundar. Not considering that Jadeja has not bowled, will he be persisted with just as a batter in the side? Because clearly, with the bounce that wicket is going to offer, clearly there's a valid point of playing an off spinner, tall off spinner like Ashwin or the Washington Sundar, who can extract the bounce. And Nathan Lyon, we know, has been very successful in Perth. I was having a chat with Brad Hogg. He also reckoned that he spoke in detail why Nathan Lyon is so successful in bouncy conditions in Perth. So clearly a case, if Jadeja is not bowling in the nets, assuming there are still 2 more practice sessions, so lot many things can change. But whether you want him to play in just as a batter, but then it always makes a point to have someone like a Washington Sundar or a Ravichandran Ashwin, both of whom are decent batters.
That's an interesting point that he's making, Gargi. Washington Sundar is as good a batter as Jadeja. Washington Sundar is a batting all-rounder. He's batted for his team at number 3 in first-class cricket. He started his career as a batter. Important point there from Devashish Sen. Where do you stand on this, the choice of spinner? Because that's a big call. Ashwin, Jadeja, Washington Sundar. Before I go to Shubha, Gargi.
I completely agree with Devashish. And we've seen Washington Sundar's evolution when it comes to batting. Like Devashish said, he had started off as a batter. So when it comes to Washi, you have that solidity in him. You get that foundation and solidity in the batting lineup. You get a guaranteed batter who's not just a part-time batter, but who is actually good at his job and gives you a lot of responsibility in the middle. So, he's, like you said, he's as good as Jadeja. So when it comes to picking these two, will you go with experience or will you go with a sense of guarantee in your batting lineup that you will get depth here? So I think it's a tough choice. It's a very tough choice because you've got almost equal level when it comes to skill. Maybe Jadeja gives you an edge with his fielding. And in Test cricket, maybe that the kind of intensity that Jadeja brings is important. But I think I'd go with Jadeja here.
Shubhan, spinner, and Rohit Steve.
I think I'll agree with Gargi here, because if we are handing debuts to 2 or 3 players, Washington Sundar has also played 5 or 6 Test matches so far, and he's not that experienced to carry be a lone spinner in that bowling attack. And mind you, in last time around in Perth 2018, it was Nathan Lyon who was named the player of the match, despite Virat scoring runs, despite all the Aussies scoring runs. It was Nathan Lyon who picked up a 5-for in the first innings and 3-for in the second innings, if I'm not wrong. And he picked up the player of the match. So spinners will play a spinner will play a huge role. And I think to hold that defensive line, to bowl that area consistently, I think Jadeja is the man. And plus the fielding is there. And once you have an experienced name in the playing 11, the pressure is always on the opposition. If Washington Sundar plays ahead of Ravindra Jadeja, then the Aussies, psychologically, the Aussies will say, okay, we can handle Washington Sundar. But a Jadeja coming in at number 7 or number 8, whatever his batting position is, or even up the order, then I think there will be some sort of psychological pressure on the Aussies as well. So I'll go with Jadeja.
Okay, I'll kind of take this super chat and the last round of questions in this, because it is also about a leadership group. I'll start with Rohit Juglan. Tanmoy Goswami is asking, great teamwork, whatever. Yeah, thank you very much. Wonder if Kohli should visibly co-lead with Bumrah in Perth, given the chatter about India missing his and Shastri's teeth. So is it a leadership group, Rohit Juglan, that will kind of work in the absence of Rohit Sharma? Kohli, Bumrah, Rishabh Pant, of course, Gautam Gambhir. All of you come in on this, but you start, Rohit Juglan.
Obviously, I think wherever Virat will play, he will definitely be a part of leadership group, and he'll definitely take that charge of charging up his players, motivating them. It's not only about the Lords that when he said in the herd that 60 overs hell for them. it's not about only England, it's about here in Australia also, because it all started from here only. It all started in 2012, then carried it forward in 2014 and 15, and it is the same place where the world know that, oh, Virat Kohli can give it back to you. He's not like other Indian players who will just listen to your sledge and just responding it like that only. He can give you some hard words also, and that's what Virat Kohli is all about. And still, he's, yes, as Ognida is saying that the photo shoots may be different. Now he's obviously 36, so definitely you can't compare a Kohli at 28, a Kohli at 26 to a Kohli of 36. Obviously things have changed, but when the game will start, I think you will definitely see the same Kohli we all have seen, throughout these tours. Obviously, and with him, someone like tactical guy, very thinking cricketer, Jasprit Bumrah. With that, you have Ashwin also, you have Jadeja also, you have the likes of Rishabh Pant also, and obviously Gautam Gambhir at the helm, who really know how to give it back. So don't be like this. Oh, Jasprit Bumrah is a very cool and calm leader. There are others also. There's Virat Kohli. Obviously, will lead the charge as far as these kind of chats will concern. So I'm looking forward to this Border Gavaskar Trophy. If anyone from the Australian side will go up to Virat Kohli and say anything like that, as we already said that they don't want to do this, as Michael Clarke already said that they don't want. Even Justin Langer has said in the series that yes, don't provoke him, don't provoke him.
So there's a question from Bapparaj for Shubhan. Mishti
That
Sandesh
you can
niye
mess
geche
with
naki
anybody
prochur
else,
machi ache
not
Australiate. Unfortunately, Shubhan prochur machi ache Australia.
প্রচুর মাছি, আমি হাত মারছি মাছি সরানোর জন্য, প্রচুর মাছি, প্রচুর মাছি। মিষ্টি সন্দেশ নিয়ে যাই।
এই মাছির মতো এই এক একটা স্লেজ মাছির মতো কোহলির গায়ে এসে বসবে, কোহলি এভাবে উড়িয়ে দেবে কোহলি।
Last 5 minutes. There's a super chat from Amardeep Grewal. Aussies are tough guys. If India can play tough cricket, even you don't have best 11, you're up there hiding behind curtains, doesn't make much point. I don't know what that last point meant, but I think he wants to say that you've got to play tough cricket. Shubhan, take that if Australians will be tough, so India will also have to play tough cricket.
Of course. I think not only Australia, wherever you go, you have to play tough cricket. Even if it is Sri Lanka or Bangladesh, with all due respect, you have to play tough cricket, your best cricket. And see, sledging and all, I think Australia have mellowed it down in the last few years, but this time around, I'm expecting some heat from their side as well. Because they know the Indian team is at its lowest right now, and they are a bit jittery with their WTC scenario as well. So I think they will try to pump up the pressure from the word go. But I think this Indian team, there are plenty of youngsters, and they have played so much of IPL, and they know how to give it back as well. And I think when the sledging starts, you will see Virat lead the charge with the words, with the war of words. And I think all these guys, the youngsters, they will not hold back. If a Pat Cummins or a Mitchell Stark or a Josh Hazelwood come up to their face and stare in their eyes, they will stare back. That is what the new India is all about.
Devashish Sen, Tomogno Basu, one of our regulars, say it's unfair on Ishwaran. Where do you stand on that?
No, you have to play your best 11. You have to play your best 11. It's not just about scoring runs in domestic cricket. It's about and that factor that makes you a test cricketer. Means obviously one might argue that you should try him before making a judgment. But let's put it, means obviously you have the best option in Yashasvi Jaiswal and KL Rahul. So would you? And obviously KL Rahul brings that amount of experience. Yashasvi Jaiswal has already proven his mettle as an opener. So would you try a completely new youngster? And that too in the first test match of a 5-match series? I don't think so. So it's not unfair, I would say, because you have to play your best team to win a series against Australia.
There is one, why is Nitish Kumar Reddy suddenly in the mix? Jadeja is all-rounder number 1, a super chat. GOT watch. Gari, take that.
Wait, what? GOT what?
Why? Okay, GOT, yeah, this one. Why is Nitish Kumar Reddy suddenly in the mix?
You have to ask that to the management. But no, on a serious note, he's been doing well, and I think this series is you're seeing new talent come in, and it's time for them to sort of take charge once all the older players fizzle out. But I don't really have an answer to this. What do I say?
I'll give that. I'll give that. I'll give that. Who is
Yeah.
the pace bowling all rounder in this Indian ecosystem right now? Apart from Hardik Pandya, Shardul Thakur bowled well, but he's bowling at 120, 122, 125 max. Nitish Kumar Reddy right now, I was seeing him bowl at the third net if I'm not wrong, and he was bowling pretty well. He clocked 138, 137. In the Bangladesh T20Is as well, he played a good knock against them. Test cricket, yes, it's a different beast altogether, especially playing in Australia. But you have to somewhere you have to give him a chance, right? If we start judging, that is what the problem with Indian fans is, that before even a player makes his debut, we start judging him, we start questioning him, and put all sorts of social media pressure on him. He's just a 21-year-old boy. Just give him a chance. If he does not play for India, how will you then? If he fails for 5 test match, then ask the management why he was picked ahead of Shardul Thakur. But before he even makes his debut, how can you even question him? That's not fair on him.
Ogni, Ishwaran not selected, Padikal, Devashish answered that, but where do you stand on that? Are we being unfair on Ishwaran that he's played so many first-class games, etc., etc.? Devashish answered that, but you also take that.
No, I'm not surprised at all, because you need to pick horses for courses. The opening slots are clearly taken with KL Rahul and Yashasvi Jaiswal. You have a reliable number 3 in Dhruv Jurel. Reliable why? Because he's been turning up for India games pretty well. He's been batting consistently in the nets. And also, please remember the fact that Gigi believes in horses for courses, and Shubhan answered it perfectly, that you need a pace bowling all-rounder to give Bumrah, Siraj, Akashdeep, Harshit, Prasidh, whoever plays the 3 frontline seamers a rest. And also a very important point was mentioned by Rohit Bhai, that this Indian team is in transition. Absolutely right. So you need a mixed bag of experience and youth. So at one hand, you have Yashasvi Jaiswal, you have Harshit Rana, you have Devdutt Padikkal. On the other hand, it's very essential to have players like KL Rahul, Virat Kohli, Ravichandran Ashwin, Ravindra Jadeja. And that is also the point about the leadership group you're making, Boryada. So it might seem unfair, but it's actually not. When you look at the playing conditions in Perth, and when you look at the fourth seamer, it has to be Nitish Kumar Reddy. The same role will be played by Mitchell Marsh for Australia. So not surprised, Ronbit, and Nitish Kumar Reddy gives you that much required batting depth. Much required batting depth. Okay, so Nitish Kumar Reddy at 7 is for sure.
Okay. Last question. Pitch kaisa hai? A lot of people are asking. So, and none of you guys have spoken about Ashwin. Devashish said Jadeja, Gargi said Jadeja, Shubhan said, Ogni said Ashwin, Rohit said Nitish Kumar Reddy. Nobody said Ashwin. So clearly, from what I'm understanding, reports from Australia, he's not in the mix from what you guys are saying. That's point number 1. And point number 2 is the pitch. Shubhan, why don't you start closing comments? Pitch and no Ashwin.
I think it's too early to talk about the pitch. We are still 3 days away from the match, and it was completely green when we saw it in the first thing in the morning. It was completely green. There's a lot of watering being done on the pitch. The hard roller was being used, but I think the grass. I think a lot of a layer or 2 of grass will be shaved off before the test, in the build up to the test, so it won't be as green as it was today. But yes, it will be bounce, it will be spicy, and it will be a pacer friendly wicket. That's a guarantee that I can give. But too early to talk about the pitch. Let us give us a couple of days, match day -1 or even match day -2, we can still talk about the pitch. But today I think it's a bit too early.
So Devashish, no Ashwin.
You are putting me in a spot. I mean, I am not a selector on that part of team management, but obviously going by things, what I noticed that obviously the only point of concern that I am trying to emphasize is that will you play Jadeja as only a batter, because he has not bowled so far in Australia in the nets. So and then you also pick a Nitish Reddy, who is an all-rounder. So or rather you pick a specialist spinner in either Ashwin or a Washington Sundar, because both of them were bowling in the same nets today. So clearly, and obviously Nathan Lyle also shared that Ashwin share a wealth of experience. Someone who has picked 550 plus wickets, but then Somehow the Indian team management in overseas conditions do not have that confidence in playing a Ravichandran Ashwin. I don't know why, because he is a true match winner. Someone who you can rely on. He can give you everything when it comes to winning your matches. Means be it his batting, be it his bowling. But somehow or other, the Indian team management doesn't feel confident in playing in a Ravichandran Ashwin in that playing 11 in overseas conditions. But
Correct.
as far as the wicket is concerned, Bodiara, I can guarantee this wicket is going to have a lot of spice. Indian players will have a tough time against a Mitchell Stark, Pat Cummins, Josh Hazlewood. What Rohit and me has witnessed yesterday at Dhaka, if that is the case, the kind of bounce that Pat Cummins and Mitchell Stark was extracting, it even had Steve Smith, Usman Khawaja, and Nathan McSweeney having a lot of trouble. So, mind you, the Australian, they have lost 2 series, so they will definitely try to go 1-0 ahead, and the best option is to make it a juicy bouncing track.
So Rohit, closing words, pitch and Ashwin. So no chance, you reckon? No Ashwin and pitch?
Again, still about pitch, as Shubhanda has said, that there will be some shaving, will be done here, and we will have, I think, on match day -1, we will have a closer look, because what I'm hearing this time around, that they will give us a tour, they will give us a wicket tour. We'll be
Every
allowed
time it
to have a
happens,
word.
not maybe not every time it happens. Every time it happens in Australia, they give a tour.
Devashish, this is my first time. That's why I'm saying this is my first time.
Yeah. Every time
I know.
it is a tradition. It is a tradition. It is a tradition here in Australia. They give a tour
For
on
me,
match day -2.
low. So for me, it's very new, because in India we don't have these. In ICC tournaments we don't have these. So Devashish said that we'll give a tour of the pitch, and obviously we'll have a word with the curator. As far as what we have, till now what we have seen is a lot of grass there, and I was talking to Shubhanda, on a lighter note, that bhai पानी देना बंद करा यार, अभी से आसमान भी पानी दे रहा है, तू भी पानी दे रहा है भाई, कितना पानी दोगे इस विकेट को भाई. So it's everyone is watering the wicket, even the skies are watering the wicket. So what they want to build up for this India versus Australia game for the very first test. So yes, there were a lot of grass, yes, they were giving it a lot of water, but I think there will be some shaving down will be done today, tomorrow, and yes, lastly on 21st, and then we'll be able to tell that what's going to be the wicket. But it's wicket, remember that it's a drop-in wicket, it's a fresh wicket, it's all means a month-old wicket. So I think
Normally,
it
before
will
the
have
test
its
match,
own.
curator speaks to the media.
He's got a few minutes already. I'm not the curator.
Devashish, the unmute.
He's already done. I don't know what you want to say in a press conference.
So, yeah, Devashish, what happened?
Oh,
Mute.
I thought that Devashish was saying something, so I stopped.
हाँ बोलो
No.
हाँ
Yeah.
रोहित बोलो.
Yeah, so I think, and as far as Ravichandran Ashwin is concerned, look at the conditions here. Means conditions-wise, it's very horses for courses thing. We all knew that in Wanderers, Bhuvneshwar Kumar will be your obvious choice in 2018, but he hasn't played after that brilliant spell in Cape Town. That's only because of the conditions. So there are multiple, times when we have seen that Indian team has opted for a horses for courses rather than selecting your best 11. It's not about your best 11. It's about what conditions are saying. What conditions are you playing in? So if in these kind of conditions, if it will be overcast, if it will be a lot of rain, it will be a lot of moisture, it will definitely going to be, this Nitish Kumar Reddy, and you have then you need some batting depth also, and then Ravindra Jadeja will play. But, if sun was baking down for 3-4 days before the game, I can really, at that point of time, I can really say that yes, Ashwin could play. But in these overcast conditions, and it will go forward is like this only. Means the darker skies, the clouds, the rains, they will stay here at least till Thursday, and then from Friday onwards when the game will start, I think the things will turn around as far as the weather is concerned. So what I am as of now, what I am looking is I don't think Ravichandran Ashwin will make it into the playing 11.
So let's close it out on that note. We'll come back. There's a Hindi live these guys will do at 11. So a lot of people were saying Hindi mein boliye. Rohit's Hindi is so much better than anybody.
বাংলাটা বলে দাও আমাদের দুপুর 12টায়।
বাংলাতেও 12টায় ওটাই বলতে যাচ্ছিলাম। So we will do all languages. Rohit, Shubhan and Vaibhav will do Hindi.
I think
myself and Devashish will do Bangla. Gargi is our bilingual person who will do Hindi and English and also learning Bangla. So all languages, folks, all languages. And
I think by the
Shubhan,
I think by
Devashish
the
and
time
Rohit,
this tour ends, I think by the
everybody will
time
learn
this tour
everything.
ends, I will be trilingual. I'll be going for Hindi, English,
lovely.
and Bangla. The way
100%.
this much Bangla
Gargi
I'm
will also
listening in
learn.
my room. After
100%.
Shubhanda's arrival, they are only speaking in Bangla. So I'm only getting
So
that.
think about this.
I have to learn
Rohit, one
Bangla, otherwise
second.
I don't able to know what they are speaking about.
Correct. So you will also have me, you will have Ogni, you will have Trisha, you will have Shormishta. All of us will speak Bangla. So you will be converted. Don't worry. Gargi has already been half converted. Okay, folks, today is 19th November. Try and forget the day. I'll end on that note. Please forget the day. 9